Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a huge and, let's be honest, often intimidating topic, the science behind cancer. We're going to break down exactly how a single, normal cell in our body can go rogue and start a dangerous rebellion. Okay, let's get right into it.
So it really all boils down to this one simple question. Think about it. Our bodies are made up of trillions of cells, all working together in this incredible harmony. So what on earth happens to make one of them break all the rules, to just start growing and dividing with no off switch? What actually causes this cellular rebellion?
Well, the answer at its core is both incredibly simple and unbelievably complex. Cancer is a disease of our genes. It's not some invader from the outside like a virus or bacteria in the usual sense. It starts with glitches in the very instruction manual that runs each and every one of our cells.
Right. So to really get a grip on this rebellion, we have to start with that instruction manual, our DNA, our genetic code. We're going to look at what can go wrong with the specific genes that are supposed to keep all of our cells behaving properly.
These genetic mistakes, or lesions, as scientists call them, can pop up in a few different ways. Sometimes you can inherit them, but way more often they happen during our lifetime. It could be a simple random copying error when a cell divides, or it could be damage from stuff in the environment. Things like radiation, UV rays from the sun, or certain chemicals, and even some viruses.
So when our DNA gets damaged, which parts are the real danger zones? Well, inside our genetic code, there are these really important genes that act like guardians. Their whole job is to control when a cell should grow and when it absolutely should not. Cancer happens when these guardians get broken.
The easiest way to think about these guardians is to imagine your cell as a car. You've got proto-oncogenes, which are basically the accelerator. They push the cell to grow and divide when it's supposed to. And then you have tumor suppressor genes. You guessed it, those are the brakes. They slow things down, they check for damage, and if a cell is too broken to fix, they can even tell it to self-destruct.
So what happens when that accelerator gets stuck? Well, a proto-oncogene can get mutated and turn into what we call an oncogene. This is literally like the gas pedal being jammed to the floor. The oncogene is just constantly screaming, go, grow, divide, even when there are no signals telling it to do that. And on the flip side, what if the brakes fail? That's what happens when a tumor suppressor gene gets damaged. The cell completely loses its ability to stop, to hit the pause button and fix any mistakes. A really famous example is a gene called p53. It's found to be broken in a huge percentage of human cancers. When p53 isn't working, cells just race ahead, becoming genetically unstable and totally out of control.
But here's the thing. It is almost never just one single failure. Cancer doesn't happen because of either a stuck accelerator or broken brakes. It's usually a whole cascade of failures, a multi-step process that, over time, leads to a tumor.
This whole process is called carcinogenesis. It all kicks off with one cell getting that first genetic hit. Then, because it's dividing without the proper controls, it starts picking up more and more mutations. This creates a sort of survival of the fittest, but for the bad guys. The most aggressive, unruly cells start to thrive and take over, eventually building up into a complex, diverse mass of cells, the tumor.
And as these cells evolve, they don't just grow faster, they start to acquire a whole set of dangerous new abilities. Honestly, you can almost think of them as cellular superpowers that make them incredibly formidable enemies.
They essentially learn to hotwire themselves for survival. They figure out how to grow without needing permission and how to completely ignore the stop signs from their neighbors. They can even dodge the normal self-destruct program, which basically makes them immortal. And, critically, they can trick the body into building new blood vessels to feed their growth, and even develop cloaking devices to hide from our own immune system.
Now, I know that all sounds incredibly bleak, right? But this is where the story really takes a hopeful turn. All of this deep knowledge about what's going on at the molecular level isn't just for textbooks. It is fundamentally changing how we fight back. Because it's true, right? When you know exactly how the enemy's machine works, you can start designing specific ways to break it. Understanding the precise broken parts in a cancer cell is the absolute key to developing smarter, better therapies.
This means we can start moving away from the blunt instruments of the past that often harm healthy cells just as much as cancerous ones. Instead, we can design what they call rational drugs, therapies that are built specifically to attack the altered genes or proteins that are driving that particular cancer.
So the whole modern approach follows this really logical sequence. Step 1, you analyze the tumor to find its unique genetic weaknesses. Step 2, you use a targeted drug that's designed to hit that specific vulnerability. And step 3, you're now giving a truly individualized treatment. That is the definition of personalized medicine.
And look, this is not science fiction. As this quote from our source material points out, this is happening right now. We are getting better and better at matching a specific patient with a treatment that's tailored for their tumor's unique molecular signature.
So, by understanding the rebellion at the most fundamental molecular level, we are learning how to turn the cancer cell's own superpowers against it. It's still a long road, for sure, but this targeted, personalized approach is absolutely leading the way. The question isn't really if we can fight cancer this way anymore, but how quickly and how effectively we can get these smart weapons to every single patient who needs them.